If you follow the On3 social account, one, phenomenal. You're in the know for all things college football, all things college sports all the time. If you're not yet following there, make sure you do that. But there was a graphic that dropped yesterday on the On3 socials of what Lou Holtz had to say about Ryan Day. And Lou Holtz, from his Twitter account, says, quote, "If Notre Dame doesn't win, it's because we want to preserve Ryan Day's job." New paragraph. "I was originally going to be at the game in spirit, but now I'll be dragging my body along as well." There's a lot to unpack here. One, this is like as a standalone, kind of wild, definitely hilarious. But if you are unfamiliar with the history of Ryan Day and Lou Holtz, we'll give a quick rundown here. Last year, Pat McAfee show, College Game Day, both in South Bend, Indiana, when Ohio State goes to South Bend, Indiana to play Notre Dame. And on the Pat McAfee show, I guess this was the Friday before, Lou Holtz does a sit-down interview with a counterpart of Pat McAfee's that is dressed as Lou Holtz, giving a Lou Holtz impersonation, talking about the game, talking about Notre Dame, Ohio State. Lou Holtz, obviously, with some very deep Notre Dame ties, gives his thoughts on the game, and then said something that sparked a lot of emotion on the Ohio State side, saying, quote, "You look at Coach Day, everyone that beats him does so because they're more physical than Ohio State." What are we doing there? Essentially calling out the toughness and manhood of this Ohio State Buckeye football team. Post-game, Ohio State wins on a short yardage touchdown from Chip Trainum. Ryan Day jumps on the mic and shouts, I want to know where Lou Holtz is right now. What he said about our football team is ridiculous. I cannot believe he said that. We're a tough football team. I mean, just chest out, letting his thoughts known, and making sure that everybody knew that Ohio State was, in fact, a tough physical football team. So then this week, the week of the national championship game, Ohio State and Notre Dame obviously had to get after it. Someone asked Ryan Day during his media availability if he and Lou Holtz ever patched things up. Like, hey, y'all, that was one thing. It was kind of a heat-of-the-moment thing for Lou Holtz and obviously a heat-of-the-moment thing for you. I would imagine there was some of this context given for this question. Had you patched things up with Lou? Ryan Day, one-word answer, no. All right, so that still seems to be a tender spot. Not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying there seems to be some sort of raw emotion there from what I can gather giving a one-word answer. Then Lou Holtz doubles down this week with that tweet and says we want to preserve Ryan Day's job if we don't win the game. There's a lot here, man. First of all, Lou Holtz is 88 years old, man. Just turned 88 January 6th of this year. So, Lou, if you're watching, happy birthday. But, like, Lou, I mean, I hope I have this level of don't give a fudge at 88 years old, man. I hope I'm out here tweeting at head coaches or tweeting at former colleagues. Like, I hope I have this level of, like, this is me. These are my thoughts. I'm putting them out there for you. I don't care what the kickback is, or I don't care that we lost to y'all last time. I don't care that Notre Dame's 8.5-point dog. So Lou Holtz, from what I can gather, is in full talk his cash mode plus full fan mode. Like, obviously, Lou Holtz, having been the coach of Notre Dame for a long time, has some ties there with the Irish and clearly wants the Irish to win. Now he's going to the game, and as he says, dragging his body along as well, which is a wild line in itself. What I got to thinking about, though, is like Lou Holtz at his core, man, he's in fan mode right now. Like, yes, he was at Notre Dame, and he's got those ties we just mentioned. He's closer to it than most, but, like, he is in fan mode, and what he says, though, carries more weight than your average burner account that has a Notre Dame logo as the avatar and has the handle of Irish Fan 43. This is Lou Holtz, who's got over 200 career wins and was the head coach for Notre Dame last time they won the national championship in 1988. So that's why it makes waves. That's why it's got some extra juice to it. That's why it's got some more punch behind it, paired with the history. And so, again, I honestly, the fan in me, I have no dog in the fight here. Like, I just want to see a great game. I think either storyline with either coach winning or side winning is compelling. I just appreciate Lou Holtz being willing to double down on what he said, essentially double down on his, emotional real estate that he keeps with Ohio State via the Twitter sphere. Again, this coming on the heels of Ryan Day saying he and Lou Holtz are, in fact, from what I can gather, not on the best of terms. So this in itself is just hysterical, and Lou Holtz has those credentials. On the Ohio State side, we got to make sure this is clear. Ryan Day's job, if they lose, is absolutely not in question. Like, that doesn't even need to really be discussed. The second part is I don't really know this triggers Ryan Day all that much. Like I said, yeah, the emotions are probably a little bit raw if we're given a short answers on how we feel about Lou Holtz. But I get the sense he's probably got more on his plate, like game planning for Ohio State's offense against Notre Dame defense and things of that nature. But I do think the interesting thing about this is if I'm an Ohio State player, we've seen, man, this Ohio State team has been very close all year, seems to have gotten closer since their shortcomings in the regular season, especially that Michigan game. And I don't think they needed anything extra to get them rolling. And regardless of how tongue-in-cheek this was, just competitors kind of find whatever they need to get rolling. They find whatever they need to kind of light that fire. Like you hear stories about Michael Jordan bumping into dudes in restaurants, the day before his games and them saying, "Hey, Michael, good to see you." And he's like, "That was so disrespectful. That was all I needed to get going." Comping, I guess, Ohio State here to Michael Jordan, which is a lofty comparison. But if they needed anything else to get rolling, if they needed anything else to kind of light the fire for this Ohio State team, a coach that's known for what he did at the school you're playing, essentially calling out your current leader in Ryan Day, I wonder if that doesn't make for a little bit extra intensity running out that tunnel on Monday night, as if Ohio State needed that. But, I mean, as a college football fan, this is hysterical. Like, I'm all for this. I'm all for Lou Holtz saying what he wants to say. And I'll also say this, too. Like, if Lou Holtz wants to keep doing this every single time with Ohio State, like, more power to him. You're 88. Say what you want to say, dude. Again, your credentials speak for themselves. You got a national championship to your resume. Lou Holtz can say whatever he wants to say, as far as I'm concerned. And Ohio State, in the same way, can respond as however they want to respond. But regardless, man, post-game now, you wonder, does Ryan Day give us a volume 2 of, I want to know where Lou Holtz is right now? And if he wants to know where Lou Holtz is during that game, per Lou Holtz, he will be in Atlanta, Georgia for that game. I can't wait, man. The storylines write themselves.